Oh, I forgot. This transitions into a cutscene. I
Well, that was anticlimactic.
Oh wait, here it is.
You asked to start the part, and then you screw it up.
All I was gonna say is it's really good that this country inn had exactly one room with exactly enough beds for our entire party.
You forgot that you had to press the confirm button in order to get that screen to go away too. I do that every single time. I expect it to fade away on its own.
Yeah. Okay. And this is a pleasant little town, but something about the architecture kind of reminds me of some of the towns in Final Fantasy VIII.
Actually, that's the kind of the thing. Like, it has this appearance of being a nice little town, but it's actually kind of a really sketchy place.
But it has a dark secret beneath it.
It's nice because the Alexandria is where you start the game, but this is the first real town of the game, and most first real towns in games like this are very calm and simple, and just kind of
nothing happens there.
Yeah, nothing happens there, and this place is really kind of creepy, and I think it's a nice change of pace from most other games.
Going into the music, though, I am convinced Nobuo Uematsu based this track off of a town theme from Final Fantasy V. I couldn't give you the exact name of that song, but it sounds remarkably similar.
Well, it might be going for the same feel.
Yeah, it might be referential, like Lewis was getting at. But
yeah, I tried saying this last part actually, but the battle theme is composed to sound like the beginning of a battle theme in the previous Final Fantasy games.
Oh, yeah. No, it has
not counting 7 and 8.
Well, it has that bass line, which was part of every single game up through the SNES, and then they dropped it for 7 and 8 and brought it back to this game, which I suppose is another sign that they were trying to make this more similar to the older games in the franchise.
Yeah.
Also, how do you get that treasure chest behind the lady?
You have to do it later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can't get to that until Disc 2, I think.
Oh, because that lady won't move?
There are a few places where you can clearly see treasure chests during one disc or another, and you can't get to it until a later point in the game.
Okay.
So you just sort of have to remember it's there.
It's this chest and helping the mayor's son in the windmill.
Okay.
That you can't do today. Well, you can't do now.
Okay, Garnet, that was way delayed. I don't think she's convinced. In fact, you just kind of make yourself look like a tool when you do it like that.
I thought it was
as the subtitle said, Dagger tries.
And the next one is Dagger tries harder.
I have a condition called Twitch where I have to have a 30-second delay for everything I do.
It's so nice of these Moogles to read you their mail when you get it to them. Okay.
Also, on the Mooglegate script police, I was I don't know, I don't like this guy, but I'll read the letter anyway.
Yeah.
What, did you black out?
I believe I stopped recording sessions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, with an RPG, it's really hard to pace a recording.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to know how much you really need to, how much time you really need to cut out when you're actually recording. So, it's hard to keep track of that. So,
Yeah, what I'm actually doing on my channel with Final Fantasy VII is I'm just uploading the playthrough with all the battles intact, and when I commentate over it, I'll cut them out. So, yeah. Fuck the editing. The editing in these games is horrible.
RPGs in particular, yeah.
Yeah. Manually editing out battles is
that
is purgatory.
People keep asking me when I'm going to do a Persona game. Do you have any idea the sheer volume of shit I'd have to cut out in those games?
You could probably just not record if you were doing Persona 3, you could probably just not record entire nights on Tartarus. To be perfectly honest.
But I'd also have to cut through, in Persona 3's case, I'd have to cut through going through the town for the umpteen billionth time to get to this given person or whatever. And I'd have to do that every other day because you really need to use every day in the town to max out your social links. So yeah, that's why I haven't recorded Persona 3 yet, because it's gonna be a fucking nightmare to edit.
No, we aren't lazy. What would ever give you that idea?
Well, I also still have Beyond Good and Evil and Sonic Unleashed on my hard drive, so...
Yeah.
I think this camera angle only exists to show you that there's a treasure chest down there. Because otherwise it's hidden by the bush. Well, the foliage.
Yeah.
But I got it already, so
Yeah. Well, it's like you played the game before.
many times even.
How many? Yeah, that's a question. How many times have you guys played and beaten this game?
Let's put it this way: the only thing I have yet to do in 9 is get Excalibur 2.
Yeah, that's the only thing I haven't done either.
Final Fantasy IX is a regular summer game for me. Every summer, I just get in the mood to play it, and I'll blaze through it in a 3-day marathon. And I don't think I've ever 100% completed this game, paradoxically, because what I enjoy most about Final Fantasy IX is its pacing and its enjoyable attitude.
Getting into the world and all that shit. Getting the Excalibur 2 requires you to ignore all that.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want to do that.
Well,
but that doesn't really answer Ted's question, though. Enough.
Okay, well, I don't
Yeah.
expect you to keep count, but like
Yeah.
the way you guys describe it, that's the same way I play stuff like Paper Mario. I don't care about getting every single thing because honestly, that detracts from me playing the game the way I want to play it 9 times out of 10.
And just to reiterate, the Excalibur 2 is without a doubt the best weapon in the game for Steiner, but you have to get to Memoria in 12 hours time. From the beginning of Disc 1 to the end of Disc 4 in 12 hours. And
Which means you have to skip over everything else, and your party is not nearly going to be as efficient, so it's more of a bragging rights thing.
yeah, like the ultimate of bragging rights for 9. Besides the 1,000 jumps for the jump rope championship show.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you think it's possible for somebody to have both 1,000 jumps on jump rope and Excalibur 2 on the same file?
You would have to get your
Yeah.
jump rope on the first fucking try, I would guess.
Well, actually, can't you go back and jump rope in Alexandria during Disc 4?
If you can, yeah, well, no, because, well, jumping the gun a bit here, what happens to Alexandria later on?
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm pretty sure I saw the jump rope kids there after that, too.
It's been such a long time, I can't give you a clear answer on that one. Well, that I specifically go out of my way to do the jump rope shit after Disc 1.
But jump
Oh,
rope,
man.
John.
Hey, what's the highest you guys ever got in jump rope?
5.
I haven't played it for real in a long, long time, so I don't recall.
I did it yesterday during the playthrough, and I got 128.
It was
Enough for the,
138, actually. You're selling yourself short, John.
What? No, I'm pretty sure it was 128.
I'm pretty sure it was 138.
Check
but
Twitter.
I'm checking my Twitter.
I've got my Twitter open right now, so I'm a step ahead of you there, buddy.
I'm pretty sure it's
And
128.
it was 128. Never mind, I can't.
You're overselling me, Ted. Stop that.
Trying to earn a bonus from John, eh?
Building up the hype levels.
That is actually an interesting piece of dialogue that you can get if you keep talking to that girl in the shop. There's already someone helping me, which segues directly into Steiner's ATE.
I got that. I got that flavor text after I got the Steiner AT, and I thought, yeah, that's pretty cool.
No, they were. She said something like, "Is that a trend lately?" When I played the game, so
Yeah.
Yeah, because Steiner already offered to help, and he's already helping out.
Well, the thing about Dolly is that it's full of kids. Like, where are the adults except for Hal?
And the mayor, I suppose.
It's like, does Hal like raise 30 kids? It's like,
Yeah, it's something that you start to notice, and then the characters point it out, and you realize, oh, they're doing this on purpose. That's kind of creepy. What's going on here?
it's nothing but kids, and the ground sounds like a chocobo.
Why does the ground sound like a chocobo?
What's a chocobo?
What's a chocobo? He knows too much.
My black mage, so adorable.
Hey,
I like
Mark,
how-
I'm myself a black mage.
I like how when you ask that question, when you get to the chocobo room in Final Fantasy X, and the character in the room just looks at you and practically might as well just say, "Oh, it looks like you've never played a Final Fantasy game before." Oh man.
And no one seems to care that the Moogles are just listening in on every conversation they have.
You know, he could let you know what's going on, but instead he's gonna be a dick about it. Okay, whatever, dude. I don't even like your stupid male side quest anyway.
Moogles
Man,
don't give a
people
shit
just-
about you.
People just treat Moogles like they're furniture in this game. It's inhumane.
Well, to be fair, they do just stand there not doing anything and stare at you.
Hashtag Mooglegate.
Can we please not start with that?
I can't even think of a follow-up to that.
They're turning their heads in sync with each other. It's like Zidane is literally making fun of her.
Oh, okay. I actually have a question. There's a dialogue option here. I said you sure know how to fake it, thinking that would be the right choice. Does it really matter?
No, it doesn't matter at all.
Okay. So it's just.
Nah, I don't think Final Fantasy IX has the same sort of affection rating thing that 7 and 10 have going on in the background.
So 7, the affection rating in 7 that determined who you went on a date with.
It determined who you went on a date with at the end of disc 1, and nothing else. In Final Fantasy X, your affection rating determines who throws you the ball when you do Blitz Ace as your overdrive, and also determines who jumps off the airship first at the end when you're assaulting Sin.
Yeah, bonus points if the person throwing you the blitz ball is checked.
Wait, what?
No, I'm kidding.
Okay, you see, you guys can't do that to me. I'm really confused.
If there are relationship values in 9, I don't know about them. But in 7, it was considered bragging rights if you can get Barrett or Yuffie to date you.
Well, Barrett, you have to get everyone else to hate you for, and Yuffie is just, you have to really skew your dialogue ratings with her. Toward Yuffie. But here's the thing about the affection ratings in Final Fantasy VII that always fucked with me. Alright? Your affection ratings with the other girls in your party go down whenever you talk to one of the other ones unnecessarily. Like, geez, they're petty. Like, if you got your party hanging around during a not cutscene sequence, and your first impulse is usually to talk to all of them to see what they have to say, right? Well, if you talk to any of the girls, their affection rating will go up and the other ones will go down.
Yeah, so just talk to Barrett and nobody but.
So if you talk to everybody, then it all evens out? Is that...
I suppose, but I'm not really sure how the affection point system works. It's something that's going on in the background that you have no way of tracking.
And it doesn't... Who you go on this date with doesn't affect anything, right?
Yeah. More to the point, though, the points are already biased in one direction to begin with. And you have higher affection with Eris than with anyone else in the beginning, and you have to be pretty deliberate about it to get anyone
Yeah, so you gotta work to get her to hate you.
Well, you could call her the slum drunk. That'll...
Which I always do.
Wait, what?
She asks if you remember her, and you can either tell her no or yes. And then if you say yes, you can tell her that you remember she was the girl selling flowers, or you could say, you're the slum drunk. And it's that kind of thing that really makes me like Cloud in Final Fantasy VII as opposed to everything else he's in.
This series is weird. Like it's pretty late for me to talk about my Final Fantasy experience. Like the first Final Fantasy game I played was the SNES version of Final Fantasy IV.
That's right.
And that was actually, to be honest, not that long ago. It was 2011, I think, when it came onto the Virtual Console. I played it right after Pokemon Black and White came out, actually, because that was a really great game, and I wanted to play an RPG that was a little bit different from Pokemon. So I played that, and then I started playing a bunch of different RPGs afterwards. So, yeah. But oddly enough, I've been trying to sample as many different types of RPGs as I can, which means that I really have not played too much Final Fantasy. I've played 4, 6, the DS version of 3, and I'm just starting 9 right now. I have not played basically anything else, so...
Yeah. Well, nowadays, if I'm not telling people to start with 4 or 6, for that matter, I would always say 9. I love 7, not for nothing. I love 5, too. But they are not beginner
They're not user-friendly, yeah.
5 specifically. But 9 is, probably the epitome of user-friendliness that anybody... I don't even think you need to be a fan of RPGs to like 9.
Yeah, it's very easy. If you need to put anything on your character, you just go to equip, and that's it.
Yes.
Speaking of equipment, I miss games that have different pieces of armor.
Well, now it's relegated to a sword, an accessory, and maybe a
sword and a little thing that you put on your arm, because that's protection.
Yeah, your wrists are protected.
And, in Final Fantasy VII, it sort of made sense because your equipment did boost your defense, but you were probably paying more attention to how many materia slots it gave you. And decking yourself out with too much armor with too many materia slots would have unbalanced the game horribly. But in Final Fantasy VIII, you only had your weapon that you could remodel throughout the game.
Wait, you didn't have equipment in Final Fantasy VIII?
In Final Fantasy VIII, they tried something completely new. You could find magazines that would give you weapon designs, and then you go to a weapon shop, and then you use items to remodel your weapon into a new version. Basically, it was an upgrade system more so than an equipment system. And in Squall's case, upgrading your weapon also gave you new limit breaks.
Huh.
But upgrading your weapon was something that you really had to go out of your way to do, and it wasn't strictly necessary either, because your base weapon was strong enough to get you through the game.
It seems kind of over a little bit up if I'm gonna
Final Fantasy VIII was super experimental, and most of its experiments were failures. I will compliment some of its mechanics. I kind of like the summoning system, for example, but it's a really, really easy game to break.
Once you understand it.
Yeah, once you understand it.
Oh yeah, this area underneath the town.
This is where you find out where all the adults are hanging out.
Yeah, they basically started making a...
This must be one of those secret Batcave burlesque joints.
Okay, I really would like to know what's going through your mind some of these days. Actually, no, never mind. You can leave it alone there. Like,
where do I sign up?
Well, it's kind of weird because it makes the general tone of this area makes you think like it's supposed to be this bad place, but honestly, these people are just trying to make a living, and they make a comment at one point that it's easier than farming, and it makes them more money too. So you can't really blame them for that.
Vivi, why don't you just throw a fireball at one of them?
He's scared.
Shove a lightning bolt up their ass.
He's scared.
And I don't think he feels threatened just yet, just confused.
Yeah, he also hasn't seen what they're making at this point either.
Yeah. But still, bad touch. Fireball.
Oh,
that's one hell of pepper spray.
You're like the only little kid on the planet who doesn't need to yell for an adult when that happens. Do something about it.
Oh, it's the other part. The end of the parts sneak up on me in this playthrough.
You pick weird places to end, dude.